Hey there, Brett here with Quarter Properties, your Myrtle Beach area real estate expert. Hope everyone's doing well out there. I don't know about you, but I'm freezing to death. It's February here in Myrtle Beach, and I've got clients texting me left and right who have moved here over the last year or two, and they're wanting a refund. They're like, we didn't sign up for this. This is 2 years now where we've had an accumulation of snowfall. No one brought their, snow shovels down. And here we are with snow accumulating 2 years in a row. But I got to tell you, this isn't normal. It's usually not this cold, not normal. The last time we had 2 years in a row of accumulated snowfall was back in 88 and 89. So that was 36 years ago. 89 was the big one where we had around 14 inches of snowfall, depending on where you're at. But before that, it was back in 42 and 43 with 2 years in a row back to back of measurable snowfall. So that was 46 years ago. So it's a good long while. So I promise, hopefully with that trend, hopefully we won't see a back-to-back years of accumulative snowfall for the next 30 or 40 years or so. So hopefully next year will be, nice and dry, sunny and no snowfall. So let's give it another year or two before we start, packing our bags and heading back to Rochester. So, all right, I wanted to hop on here today. For those of you that know, I just spent a week in Paris with my wife. It was her 50th birthday. We had a great time over there. It was the first time I've ever been to Europe. But that's a place where she's always wanted to visit. So 50th birthday, we went to Paris, and it got me thinking, what's better, Paris or Myrtle Beach? Obviously, a lot of people would think that's a silly question, but hey, to each his own. And here's my opinion. The top couple things I loved about Paris and, how it compares to Myrtle Beach, and the top couple things I love about Myrtle Beach and how it compares to Paris. So the first and number one thing for me was just the history and the architecture. For me, it was just kind of looking at the buildings, understanding and learning about some of the history of those buildings. For my wife, it's the art, but for me, it's just the history and the buildings. The oldest structure in Paris dates back to around the first century AD, whereas in Myrtle Beach, our oldest structure dates back to 1881, and that's the service house. So Paris has got about 1,800 plus years start on, standing structures there comparatively. And then there's a lot of structures that we were able to see that really dated back to the, 15th century or so. Whether we were looking at different buildings, not as old as that, but whether it's Notre Dame, the Basilica, different places like that. So the first thing I loved about Paris was definitely the architecture, the history, the buildings. The second thing I really loved about Paris was the convenience. It was just really different. We'd come down. And pretty much you come down from your hotel, wherever you're staying, if you're in an Airbnb, you come down and almost every block, you've got, a fruit stand, you've got a meat market, you've got a barber shop, a wine shop, a cheese shop, pharmacy. It's just everything right there when you walk down, and you can walk around and make it to all these places. Literally, you can live without leaving your block. So that was really great for having that kind of convenience. Here, if you you got to leave your neighborhood and drive over to Walmart or Target or just wherever you want to go. And, that could take 10, 15 minutes to do that. So just the convenience of being able to really walk around, get to wherever you need via walk, and just things you need being right there within close proximity. Those are the couple of things I loved about Paris. Now, does it compare? Does Myrtle Beach compare in any way? Well, here are the top two things I love about Myrtle Beach. Number one is the sun. Being able to have that sun shining on you. I love to be outdoors. Myrtle Beach has a great outdoor quality of life. On average, we see around 215 sunny days per year. So that was a big thing for me, because Paris, on average per year, sees about 50 days of sun. that was a big difference. When we were there, I'm telling you, I saw the sun one time and it was slightly covered with clouds. So for me, that was just a big difference. I could not live like that. I've got to have the sun on me. I love being outdoors. Paris, it didn't get as cold there. It does not get as cold there as it does here in the wintertime. But it just, you don't see the sun, and I just couldn't have that. But the most important thing, the biggest reason why Myrtle Beach is obviously way better than Paris, and I could never live in Paris because of this, golf courses and pickleball courts. So those are the two reasons. In the Myrtle Beach area, we've got around 80 to 90 golf courses. In Paris, they've got around 70 in the greater Paris area. Well, to give you an idea, they've got around 13 million people living in that greater Paris metro area, and we only have around 400,000. So we've got more golf courses here than they do. And when you look at pickleball courts, you know, we've got around 5 pretty good-sized venues here in the greater Myrtle Beach area. They've only got, pickleball venues. We've got around 20, and they've only got around 5 for all those people. So, listen, I just couldn't do it. I've got to be out on the golf course whenever I can, even if it's only chipping and putting, playing a few holes. I don't have to get 18 in, but I got to be able to swing a golf club, and I feel like I just couldn't be able to do that in Paris. But definitely pickleball. I can get on the pickleball courts, very easy and conveniently here. I feel like in Paris, with that few of courts, with that many people, you probably got to make a reservation 3 months in advance to get some pickleball in. So definitely, by far, hands down, Myrtle Beach is way better to live in than Paris. Okay, so I hope you liked this video. If you did, click the like button. Subscribe if you want some more interesting tips and insight on Myrtle Beach area and or real estate. Click the subscribe button. If you want the easiest way to shop Myrtle Beach area listings, the latest listings, we've got our link right there below in the description. If you want to keep up with your home value, we've got a link there for that as well. If you want to chat, if you're thinking about buying or selling or just have any questions about the area, my cell phone number is right there and my email address is right there, and we will be talking to you soon.